Hello everyone, welcome in this live session. So my name is Marie here. I'm working at Odoo as a sales advisor. Meaning that I'm helping companies in analyzing their needs, then showing how it works in Odoo, of course, but now only for the Switzerland markets.
And I'm Mathieu, I'm Marie's colleague, and I'm doing the same job, the same position here in Odoo, but more for the European market in general.
So here we're going to focus on the gardening business in Odoo. So we'll first talk about what is Odoo as a company, as a software as well. So apart from the specific industry for today, we'll talk about the common issues you could have as a gardener, landscaper as well. Then we'll dive into the demonstration, which is the main part of the webinar for today, and then how to get started, of course, if you're interested in using Odoo for your activity. And then quick Q&A, so you always have the possibility to write your questions, and we'll dive into this at the end as well.
Great. So what is Odoo? So Odoo is a software, integrated software with a lot of applications. We have more than 80 applications here. We will focus on the application regarding the gardening industry. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot of application. The main objective of Odoo is evolving with your needs as well. So we'll focus, as I said, on the common application for the gardening and landscaping industry here. But we have more and more application regarding accounting, regarding website, regarding a lot of things, marketing, and so on. So once again, if you have questions, you will be able to ask them at the end of the presentation as well.
We'll start here with the common issues. So typically for your activity, we know you usually have quite a lot of time-consuming tasks, as you would be focusing on invoices, admin things as well. You're mainly outside for your activity, and so don't have time to manage those things. And you sometimes do not have the right tools to do it as well. So it takes you hours or into weekend. If you just don't do it every day, then you have a full amount of invoices to do or admin tasks as well. Second part, a link to the tool you may not have, or a basic Excel, for instance, where you don't have an efficient operational visibility. So you don't know maybe which services you sell the most. If your projects are, I forgot the word in English, if you have a nice margin on your projects, or if you're losing money as well based on the time you spent on projects, the resources, your vendor bills, for instance, as well. So this is really important if, well, linked to the third point, you want to scale, grow in your company, maybe have more employees to help you in transforming gardens as well. So those three main points are really important, and that's what we're going to show here in the demonstration, as we do think those are the three specifically linked to your activity here today.
So let's jump into the demonstration, which will be the biggest part here in this presentation. So here, a quick introduction about Odoo as well. So here we are on our database. So you see a lot of application. How Odoo works is that every application is connected to another if there is any need in that. So we see here different applications that we're going to jump into during the demonstration. We also have this apps application. I told you just a little bit earlier that you can add more application to Odoo. That's through this apps app. And you also have, as soon as you have an internet connection, access to your database. So you can access Odoo through our application, through your smartphone or a tablet on the way as well. So let's jump into the demonstration here. So we're going to start as a customer that want to contact you to get more information about a gardening project. So as a customer, I'm first going to end up on your website. So I'm going to click here on the website application, and we see here that we've made a website with Marie.
Beautiful website.
Beautiful website, indeed. So here you can edit your website pretty easily with Odoo as well. So you can simply click on edit here, and it's a simply drag and drop system. So you can drag and drop blocks, modify text, modify images, modify forms, and so on and so on, everything connected to your database. So here, as a client, I want to contact you because I would like to change my garden, make it better, so I want more information. So it's pretty easy here. I have the big green button, contact us. So I'm going to enter my information here for this purpose. I'm going to change my name to Mathieu Herb. I'm going to put a phone number, an email address, sorry, a subject, changing my garden, for instance, my garden, the type of request. So here it's more for a garden creation, and my questions, I want to change my garden, for example. Am I already a customer of the company? I can say yes or no. Here in this case, it is not the case. And is it urgent? I would say as soon as possible, it's best for me. So I'm simply gonna send my message here, and I have the confirmation message that I've sent all those information to Marie and my company. So what's gonna happen next? Here on your side, I'm gonna exit the website. As a customer, everything is done on my hand, and I'm waiting for Marie and Mathieu to get back to me.
Now, so being the employee in the company, so working with Mathieu here, the goal is that all the requests we get from our website or emails, we'll see it together as well, are directly going to be linked to our CRM app here. So instead of having a lot of emails, you have to treat them, maybe filter them as well. You don't have time to manage those. Well, it's super easy here to manage them directly from Odoo, and then to have all your quotations you can send based on those requests. So first example for the CRM was the website form as Mathieu showed us. Second option, if I'm a potential customer here, I could simply send you a classic email, so explaining my project, maybe adding a specific picture of my garden or things I would like. Super easily, just send classic email. Getting back here in our Odoo, so as the employee of the company, I'm going to have all requests in the CRM. So the CRM should reflect the process you have internally. So you can change the columns, number of columns or names as well. The goal is just to have a clear visibility on who I contacted, which project is maybe on standby, for which project I send a quotation, and which one is maybe one, so with a signed contract behind. I also see I have a lot of different stars here. The goal is that if I have a lot of requests, I have all the top priorities coming on the top of the column. So if at some point we do have a lot of work, you always have your priorities and you know what to focus on, going typically from the right side to quotation sent and then to the new requests that are maybe not urgent as Mathieu's one, as soon as possible. So we're going to refresh this page here to have the new requests with the email. So we see it now here. We have the one from the email and we have the one from Mathieu coming from the website. Going back here on one example, I have all on the left side information about who contacted us, email, phone number if we do have some info, and then all the information on the right side with the email picture as well. So this is what we call the chatter in Odoo, meaning that we can manage emails from here. This is directly linked to my mailbox. So if I'm sending here an email to Marie just to answer, I could do it manually, or I could be using a template as well to reply. Quite easy. We're going to answer here up to Marie, sending it from here. If she now answers again, I have her answer in my usual mailbox and here on the top as well. So if I'm going back on holidays or I'm sick, maybe Mathieu has to take it over. He has a full view on all emails. Notes I could be adding as well for the project about budget, timing, etc. And I could even tag Mathieu if maybe I have to leave this afternoon. I would say, please call him. For instance, Mathieu gets a notification, a redirecting link to the specific view, so super efficient. And I could be planning activities as well as a call if my customer does not answer, as well as I could be defining kind of activity plans for a project follow-up. If I'm always on field, managing customer projects with gardens, I maybe don't have time to check who I send an email to, then who I have to call back. Here I can just define this plan in Odoo so that once I send the first email, I automatically have a call in 2 days and an email in 5 days if we still don't have any answer. So super efficient. Going back here, so we have the new requests with Mathieu's information as typically custom field here with an urgency as soon as possible. Logic is the same for email, activities, etc. But the most important thing is that based on those information, I can always filter and group by. So typically here, I want to see all urgencies if I don't have time. All urgencies here are based on this little field. If I have specific project that I have to do well, not as soon as possible, but really quickly, and maybe this week or in 2 weeks maximum. And so this is super easy, as well as I can have a full view on what's going on in my activity here. Going back on my pipeline, I could be setting the expected closing per month, and then typically seeing here in April what we should have as revenue, May as well. June is a bit less, so we have to work a little on prospection or make maybe more advertising for our services. So the CRM here is really important to tackle the consuming tasks we saw at first, but also the visibility for specific projects you would have.
So now let's say that Marie that sent us an email wants to go on and receive a quotation for her garden. So it's pretty easy. I can either go from the opportunity here in the CRM and create a new quotation. So I could do it from here, or I could simply exit and go through the sales app. So as we said earlier, everything is connected in Odoo. So from here, I'm going to go through the CRM and create a new quotation for Marie's garden. So here, what we see, like we saw before, we have this shader on the right that's empty now because there is no information that have been computed in it. We see that the customer is already filled in, and we're going to use a garden renewal quotation template. So when I click on it, you can create different templates, and we see that everything is already set up in the quotation. So we see here the material, the labor, everything is already there. So we have multiple ways here of modifying our quotation. I can either change the quantity manually here. I can go through my add product button and search a product through my database, for example, and add it, or I could go through my catalog. If I click here on my catalog, I will end up in my inventory view and see all my product and services. So I could simply add, let's say here, I need more fertilizer for this project. I can add one, get back to my quotation, and automatically I see that the quantity here have been updated. So that's a way of doing your quotation. The other way, if it's needed, if you have more complex project and you are used to have quotation builder like Excel or Google Sheet, we have this quote calculator here that help you to modify your quotation through this view. So here, I'm just gonna save it and get back to it, and my quotation can be updated this way. So I can change as well my payment terms. I have all the classical payment terms here. I can change it. I can create mine as well if needed, if I have specific one here, let's say the 21 classic days.
What does the red graph mean?
So the red graph means here that we don't have the product in stock. So it helps me to have a view on what's in stock, what do I have to order as well. So let's say, for example, here we see that I don't have any fertilizer. I could automate the fact that I will create a request for quotation to my supplier, for example.
Nice.
So everything can be understood by Odoo. It's linked to our inventory, and it understands that we don't have the product for this project itself. So let's say here that our quotation makes sense and that it's perfect to send it to Marie. So here I have this big purple button that always, most time, means the next step. So I'm going to send it to Marie here. Odoo is going to open my email. I'm going to search here for Marie, if I can click. Yeah. So I'm going to search here for
Close.
Close, yeah. Marie here. And I have my email template. Like Marie said, I can modify it. I can also add files as well. Let's say we have 3D plans or anything else. We could add it to the quotation to send it to the client as well. So I'm going to send it. It's automatically going to end up in the chatter on the right here. So we see here our quotation. So we've made a specific quotation with images and everything, and we see the quotation here with all those informations. So like Marie said, that's great because if I'm gone, she can find all the information as well on this quotation. What's going to happen here on Marie's side, she's indeed going to receive this email, but in this email, she will as well receive a link. And we're going to click here on the preview button to see what Marie will receive when she clicks on this link. She will end up on our portal, so a personal portal. In this, she can find all the information about the quotation, the price, all the information. If she have any questions regarding here the quotation, she could simply use here this chat to communicate with us. And if she agrees with it, she can simply accept and sign the quotation online. So I'm just gonna assume that it's okay for me. So I can use here my automatic sign, validate it, and on Marie's side, it's pretty easy. She's okay with it. She don't have to print the quotation and then scan it and then send it back to me by email. She can simply sign it online. And when we get back to our Odoo, what's happened? Marie and me, we receive an email of validation of the quotation, and automatically here in the chatter, we see that everything has been updated. So the quotation has been confirmed, and I can find here the quotation signed by Marie as well.
Perfect. Just to make sure here, I understood for the customer portal, our customer does not have to be using Odoo,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
That's free of use, and every of your customer or suppliers can have their own customer portal.
Okay.
So what's happening here, maybe some of you noticed that we have some new buttons that have popped up here, and we have a project that have been created with some tasks. So I'm going to let Marie talk to you about the projects in Odoo.
Yeah, as Mathieu mentioned before, you could be using Odoo quite simply, typically just managing your quotation invoices. At some point, if you're quite growing or you have a lot of requests, you would be using the CRM for more visibility, and could be also the project app here with a lot of tasks. The goal is, for example, if you're a landscaper or you have a lot of tasks for a specific customer, you then need to track all of those. Then you could be invoicing on time, for instance, or fixed price. It really depends on your activity and services. For this specific button, as we had a quotation template with a full garden renewal, I also have a project template. So automatically, I have different columns, different tasks I have to manage for this customer. The goal is that if in the company we usually do garden renewals and let's say we have 10 tasks, always the same for all customers for this specific garden renewal, then we don't have to type them manually every time. Just define a template that you can, of course, still modify, archive, delete, change names, etc. So Odoo is quite intuitive here. It's kind of the same logic as the CRM. Name the columns as you wish. Could be new, in progress, done, or could be admin, budget, planning, for instance. The goal is really for it to be efficient and for you to understand at what stage you have those different tasks. So if I'm taking here the design concept, for instance, same logic, all information on the left side. I could also be adding subtasks, of course, but specifically block these tasks by another one. So still from this project, with the design, we can, for example, not be doing the design before we have the project timeline, for instance. The goal is that by defining those blocked by or subtasks, I avoid a lot of errors in Odoo and in my company. Typically, I need to order plants before going on field. Logic. Yeah. If you have a new maybe intern in the company, he does not know how it works. Well, Odoo is here kind of a second employee helping you in your admin and planning tasks as well. We do have the right side as well as the chatter, so I could be sending an email from here. Hi, please send us confirmation for the plans. Kind regards, for instance. I would be sending here up an email with different plans I want to send. Up attachment is popping here, so I'm sending the email from here. The goal is that my customer gets the email as before, but the extra tip is that, as Mathieu told us, customer also has a portal on Odoo, so you could be doing the same for the project. We do have the new project here coming from the this specific quotation, and directly from here, going back one step before, I could be sharing the project, so to my specific customer as well. Taking Marie up, she's only in the reading mode here. I do not want her to modify anything. I just give her the access for the portal, and then we can see what Marie is going to see as well. So going in the settings here, I do have the customer view. Marie now sees all the different tasks of the project, and typically here, design conceptualization, quite hard to say. We now see the email here with all the different plans I have to check, maybe add notes, and then send confirmation. So I could simply say, amazing, all good, send it from here directly. The goal is that Marie here as an employee of the company, it centralizes everything as well. I do now have this amazing message, and I could go on my second tasks. Going a bit further, if you do want to manage your planning in Odoo, the goal is that as an admin here, I can see all tasks, so from every project as well, and specifically with this Gantt view, that is quite useful. So I'm going here to see all the different tasks. I could see it per month, per week, for instance, as well. I have different tasks coming from the projects I sold, but specifically I have 11 new ones. So those 11 new ones come from the new sales order Mathieu did before. So if I'm managing the planning here, I don't have to call Mathieu, say what's coming up, what's the next project. I always see all the different tasks from here. I could be planning them automatically based on scales or plannings of my employees as well. I could be selecting them in a view list, or I could simply drag and drop them as the website we saw with Mathieu as well. Here, typically budget management, I want to add it from here. Oops. Just select it, drag and drop it. Super easy. If I still have to modify it, then I can just move it here maybe to the next day. So quite easy. I could divide also those it's the morning, those tasks. And we do have now only 10 tasks to plan as well. And so typically the blocked by tasks we did before, if you plan it in the other way around, here in the planning, Odoo is going to put a red arrow, so there's no error possible.
Great. And should it be possible to put also material as the person to block? Maybe let's say I have a land mower that's blocked on a project. Can I see that it's not available?
Yeah, of course. So you would be creating what we call resources. So you have your employee resources, then all materials and machines, for instance. So you have a full view on all your projects and what you would be using for specific ones as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So now let's act like we did the project, everything is done, our customer is happy. What we can do more with Odoo? So we see here a couple more applications. So we spoke about project, sales, CRM, contact is going to be linked, everything is going to be linked, same for the inventory. In my inventory, for example, I could add my product like we saw in the catalog, but I want to make a point here about invoicing as well. So with Odoo, you are able to do your invoicing and your accounting directly in. So if I click here on invoicing, I will have a view on my different journals. So the sales and the purchase here in this case, and the bank journal. So what Odoo allows you to do is to connect your bank account directly to Odoo. So Odoo can read all the transactions from the company bank account. It will help you to reconcile transactions. So let's say here that our customer is pretty happy with the job, but she didn't pay in time. We could do specific rules that send automatically an email based on this reconciliation. Odoo will understand that it has not been paid because Odoo can read the bank account and send automatically an email to our customer saying, for instance, that we didn't get the payment yet. And you can add more rules like this as well. So this can be helpful in your everyday life as a gardener or landscaper. We know that you mostly are outside, and this can be time consuming. So that can be something that can be really helpful as well. Speaking about other applications, you have, like Marie said, the possibility to take care of your employees, track your employees, recruit new employees as well. You could track their time off. You could track every information that's needed. Maybe another application, and just to showcase you the apps application as well, where you find all the Odoo application that might be useful. We have, for instance, the what's it called in English? Let me find it back. The subscription application here, for example, that you could install here on my database. That will not be another cost for you. Every application is included in the price, and this will allow me, for example, to have a contract with one of our customers that wants her land mown every month, and that this person have to pay every month. So you can do pretty much everything you want with Odoo as well.
Maybe one app linked to what we said previously about visibility and scaling. I think even if we're only 2 employees or alone, the dashboard app is quite useful. Yeah. This is a specific app, so linked to the others you installed, of course. And you have a lot of different statistics, graphs, numbers. This is super important because if you want to scale, you have to see what revenue you have, all unpaid invoices, for instance, maybe forecasts as well, and see maybe what projects you sell most, or services as well. Do you have to focus on recurrent services, as Matthew said, or just one-shot packages as well? And so typically here with the sales app, this is more linked to my sales, so quotation and confirmed orders. I would see here all 6 orders. You can of course filter by date or compare to last year, for instance. And I can always simply click on the number to understand what's happening behind. So I do have 6 orders here. Odoo is kind of redirecting me to the sales app to check all those 6 ones. Same example with the invoicing side. Matthew talked about the invoicing app. Once you have more invoices, you also see them from here as well. Typically with the accounting app as well, seeing what your customers still have to pay you as well.
Yeah.
So this is really important.
And if you have more questions, more needs, we're going to speak about that just after the demonstration. But don't hesitate to book a meeting with one of our people here at Odoo that could go into detail, qualify your needs, explain you specific application that match your needs or specific configuration as well.
So now that we saw the full flow, so typically managing quotation, going to your invoices, or at some point managing CRM and projects as well, if you want to go a bit further, we'll soon dive into the questions. But first, if you're interested in trying this module as well and this full industry package, you can directly go on our Odoo website. You can create a new test account, typically by selecting gardening business. You just start now. You then have a test account for 2 weeks. The goal is for you to check if Odoo fits your needs, but for that purpose, as you see the second button here, this is also our role. If you don't know about Odoo, you don't know how it works, you're not used to it, the goal is for us to simplify you this discovery by analyzing your needs, doing a demo, of course, and then sending you the right offer based on your project. So you could, of course, do both, but we do simplify a lot the process for you.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into the questions.
So we do have a question here. How can we create sales orders and purchase orders from the project module? So we'll share our screen. It's easier for that purpose. The goal is that directly in your project app here, going back to the garden renewal, for instance, you always have all those little buttons as well. The goal is that all those buttons are linked to other apps you would have in Odoo as well. So typically here I have vendor bills, as I could have other sales orders, so my purchase orders, stock moves if I've used specific things extra in my project as well. And so typically here for a vendor bill, I could just be creating a new one here, or uploading it or scanning it, of course. Let's say I do have something from my plan supplier. We'll do it easy, extra plans for 200 as of today. I can just confirm it from here. The goal is that if you're using analytic accounting also in Odoo, all those information are going to be linked to your project in order to see your margin and profitability behind. So this is really important. And in the sales order, so you have it now here. We have, of course, the initial sales order, but you also could be creating a new one if at some point for the customer he wants extra services, or, as Matthew said, recurrent services as well. You could just be creating it from here directly. I think that's it for that question.
I think that's answering the needs. I hope so. If not, don't hesitate to ask more. So let's jump back to the questions. can I add contact from CRM to the email marketing automatically? So what you can do in Odoo is that with the email marketing application, you can create what we call the diffusion in French. Specific list of contacts. So indeed, in this email marketing application, you would be able to choose and filter through your contact. Let's say, for example, I want to send an email marketing to our existing customers or to new potential customers. I can create this specific list and send an email to it, indeed. Yeah. Let's see if there is any other questions. I don't see any other question yet.
I think we were quite clear.
Yeah, seems to. And like Marie said before, if you have any more question, any specific needs, don't hesitate to book a meeting with an advisor, and we will go into detail about your company, about your project, about everything that's going on your end, and Odoo can help you with those needs with a specific demonstration based on your needs as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your attention today.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.